about your idea of fun, but that's my idea of fun. A wide open run down a vast, open, uncrowded hill. That's why I'm here on the big mountain. And that's what I want to tell you about. I guess all you need to know about me is name Fred Wallace, age 26, single, gainfully employed. Right now I'm climbing aboard the Big Mountain T-bar lift. Around here they call it the intermediate lift. But in 3,200 feet, it has a 1,000-foot vertical rise, and experts will tell you it leads to some pretty rare skiing. Now, I also want to tell you about Anne. She's part of this story, too. But that can wait a minute. What I came for is the skiing. Said it before. That's my idea of fun. But I was going to tell you about Anne. I'd had a big day on the hill, enjoying my favorite after-ski sport, bunny watching. There she sat, a snow bunny if I ever saw one.
I noticed him, too. After all, a girl does notice. It was my first trip out west. I just arrived, and I was sending postcards home about my trip. I traveled on Great Northern's Empire Builder. You see, one of the reasons I chose the big mountain for my initiation into skiing is that it's the only big-time ski resort right smack on the main line of a transcontinental streamliner. On board, I made friends with some others going to the big mountain. And the food on the ranch car tempted me into eating more like a skier and less like an office slave. Between meals, I spent most of my time in the great dome car. We traveled all along the southern edge of Glacier National Park, across the Continental Divide to the western side of the Rockies. And I was happier than ever I was going by train. The convenience of two daily streamliners, the Empire Builder or Western Star, had made my vacation scheduling easy. I was really looking forward to our arrival at Whitefish, Montana, and the big mountain. Buses and cars were waiting to take us to the various resorts, motels, and hotels where skiers stay. Some right in town and some up on the mountain. And what I mean about being on the main line of the railroad, the big mountain is right there, inviting you to come up and have a ball. Just 8 miles up the mountainside, there was manager Ed Shank at the chalet, greeting each one of us as though we were long-lost friends. That was the tip-off to the brand of hospitality we were to find all over. Wanting to make my friends envious, I got some postcards off right away. I figured in the next few days I'd be too busy skiing, or heeing. Jem, our instructor, showed us the locations of the ski runs and lifts, and told us that we'd be skiing down from the very top before we left at the end of the week. I wondered about this. But that very afternoon, they put us on the Palma lift. Our class was moving up. Imagine me riding a ski lift just like a real skier. When you write home about this, you call it traversing the practice slopes. It helps you get your ski legs. Jem told us if you can walk, you can ski. I was almost beginning to believe it. He said at first skiers around here would call us Tennessee walkers because it would take us so long to get down the hill. He didn't tell me what a sitz mark is. I found that out in my very first lesson.
I was back in school too, working on my turns, under the critical eye of Carl Hinderman, one of the real pioneer ski instructors in this country. So at the big mountain, the more advanced skier also finds what he's looking for. I mean, the right kind of snow and weather and terrain, and the right kind of help to make a good skier better. That's a combination that's hard to beat. At the end of class, we cooked up an impromptu race down Hell Roaring Run. A slope well named, by the way. The competition was keen, and I was really letting them rattle. Near the bottom, I saw Ann. I should have checked, but let's face it, I was showing off. I figured to give her a snow job. What I didn't figure on was bombing the ski patrol. Anyway, that's how I ran into trouble with the patrol chief. And how I came to meet Ann. It's also how I came to meet Fravor. This charming character hangs out literally in the beers tube. A friendly warning to all skiers to play it safe. Ann and I were there with the rest of the skiers, relaxing and getting acquainted all around. It was the hill manager announcing the award for the clod of the day. Of course, I was the victim. I was given this dubious honor on the grounds that I was she-watching when I should have been ski-watching.
I've never known a place where a spirit of fun and relaxation comes over you so fast. Of course, I know there's a camaraderie among skiers everywhere, but here was I, not a skier and not knowing anybody. And in no time at all, I was part of everything. And everybody who worked there seemed really to enjoy helping us enjoy ourselves. They did it just by making relaxation the order of the day. They like to call Big Mountain the Fun Mountain, and it is just that.
When they first arrive, calorie-counting city dwellers often groan at what's put before them. But after a day or two of burning up calories on the hill, they find they make remarkable progress. I was making progress too. Anne was eager to know more about skiing. Naturally, I was glad to answer her questions. For instance, about the ski patrol. This is a paid professional patrol working full-time at the business of making the entire area a safer place to ski, a better place to ski. That includes grooming the slopes. All the lower slopes are packed by special machinery. Upper slopes are ski-packed. All skiers go for powder, but most of us can't handle the really deep stuff, so they condition the slopes to suit our skill. Every patrolman is trained and retrained in first aid, search, and rescue. They work closely with the rangers of the Forest Service, who make weekly safety inspections of all the lifts and the entire area. The patrol checks every one of the 23 runs every morning, marking rough spots and danger areas and reporting conditions such as temperature, new snow depth, type of snow, skiing conditions of the various runs. First up each morning, the patrolmen are the last to leave, sweeping the hill to make sure there are no skiers in trouble. For them, an exciting sunset run is the end of a beautiful day.
Then we eat. A couple of days of exercise and breathing the clean mountain air, and I've really rediscovered the joy of eating good food, and lots of it. This comes as no surprise to the management. That's just what they provide.
Things were looking up for us, so I popped for wine. An excellent vintage, I might add. By the time we're up and ready to hit the hill, we know just where to go to find the best skiing. There's always good skiing somewhere on the big mountain with 23 miles of runs to choose from. Every one of those runs begins right at the top of a lift, from the beginner's slopes top of the chair in a 2-mile uninterrupted downhill run. They fan out all over the mountain, but they all bring you right back where you started from, with no hiking or bus rides back to base.
Came the promised day for me to go up the big chairlift, and I decided a girl had to dress to suit the occasion.
I was glad she invited me along. It gave me a good chance to look over some of the lines of clothes and equipment they have here. It also gave me a chance to look over some other excellent lines. Did I approve? What a question.
This was the day our class of beginners was going up to the top of the chair. Less than a week ago, I'd never set foot on skis, and now I was on one of the biggest ski lifts in the country. They say 1.25 miles long with a vertical rise of over 2,000 feet. Riding high above the big face, we were treated to a beautiful sight. What a mountain. Here, the moderate winds of the Pacific push back the cold northerlies, producing a milder climate and snowfalls of beautiful powder. The snowfields are so immense, it's no wonder they've held national championships here 4 times. And with thousands of acres of skiable terrain to spread out in, it's never crowded. Of course, there was never any question of going up. It was coming down that worried me. This is the land of the fantasy forest, where the snows turn the trees into ghost-like sentinels. We were up 7,000 feet, and no matter which way we looked, the view was magnificent. To the east were the rugged peaks of Glacier National Park. To the south was Flathead Valley and the town of Whitefish. To the west, Idaho. Oh, that was the way we were going down. Our instructor said that from here you can head into some of the most challenging runs in the country. But we were going down the easy way. I couldn't help wondering what he called easy. But you know what? It was easy. Oh, not that some of us weren't still a little wobbly, and not that a few of us didn't leave our marks on the hill. But there's nothing like skiing to learn to ski. And as we came down 2,000 feet under our own steam, we all felt we were graduating, at least from kindergarten.
Ann did well enough so that she earned the Skier of the Day award. This is given every day to the best skier, or the one who's made the most progress. Or, I figured in this case, maybe to the prettiest. Fraybert gets back into the act on the day of Fraybert's Friends Trophy Dash. This is one big race for everybody. You're automatically on the team of wherever you're staying, the lodge or chalet or one of the places in Whitefish. It's team against team, man against man, husband against wife, father against son, anybody against anybody. Neither Ann nor I won the Fraybert Senior Trophy or Junior Trophy, but we did have a barrel of fun, and so did everybody else.
We were lucky to be at the Big Mountain during the annual Whitefish Winter Carnival. The grand finale is a torchlight run down one of the slopes of the Big Mountain. People really turned out to see a sight I'll never forget. All in all, we were convinced that the Big Mountain is a fun mountain.
Now that our holidays are over, we're both going back to our jobs. If you expected a get married and lived happily ever afterwards story, well, I didn't ask her. One thing's sure, though, we're both planning to come back to the Big Mountain next year. Ann's on the Empire Builder, headed back home. But before I go, I'm headed for one last crack at the Big Mountain.